All right, everybody, we're going to get this party started. Here we go.
Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Money works.
Se arregla con dinero. Money work, si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar, un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay para emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el putín entero. Funny, funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienen lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios te lo ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos malos buenos y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work, el mundo quiere dinero.
On the ones and twos. Oh yeah, this is DJ Torch.
Money work, se arregla con dinero. Money work, yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah, no me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy.
What do we do?
Yeah. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah, yeah. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Yeah. Money work. Corazón, de corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz.
All right.
De corazón, la plata no te hace ser feliz.
Break it down.
Money work, el mundo quiere dinero. Yeah, 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 yeah. Money work, money work, money work, money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work.
All right, everybody. Get this going.
And the pot calls the kettle black, calls the kettle burnt, calls her mad. Kettle reminds the pot that we've both been burned on the same stove, that the parts of our bodies that are layered in soot were scorched by the same hands. Kettle tells pot that she still boils water, holds the hot breath of a white man's tongue, endures the slow simmer of a white woman's allyship, and still we make something beautiful. Pot calls the kettle wicked, and kettle says no, but says she's so magical she burned the hand of the last man who tried to pour himself a piece of her. Says she's so black she is everything, so black she is the beginning. She is the first thing someone finds home in when they wake up in the morning. Says ain't that what it means to be black? To have the world go up in flames around you and still be sanctuary for someone, saving men who lost themselves the night before, saving men who curse our names but forget his mama is made of steel too. And now the pot has no words, but calls the kettle bitter, but loves the glass pan, the fine china, loves all the exotic shit white men put behind glass casings, loves how fragile things not made of steel can be. But this isn't about the pot or the pan. This is about the kettle, the black woman, how she pours herself across the earth, but no one bats an eye when the water disappears. We give ourselves to men who never love us, but they say we are difficult, too hard to break. How we, the kettle, praise this pot, this man for all the water he holds. How we are the only ones who do not call him monster when the water boils over, because we know this heat, this white flame, hot enough to make any of us explode. We are the first ones to make noise when the world goes up in flames, but they say the earth was saved by the man who heard her scream. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says yes, but says you best remember you black too. The next time they bring a fire to your neck, they burn black bodies on the stake and the stove. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says, bitch, I might be. Says, nuck if you buck, then says, wipe me down. Kettle says, yes, my nigga, I be black, I be mad, and I boiled the last man down to his bones when he tried to test me. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says, hell yes. But don't say my name as if you ain't ever been burnt too.
All right. All right. Let's get this party started. A lot's been going on. Let's start with the intro, though.
I'm pregnant.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The pill, they just give it to you from a doctor and then you're good.
I am pregnant. I can't pretending like nothing happened. I can't. In my religion, we don't kill.
You're not killing. Okay.
I want to keep the baby.
Okay. Well, like I said, I just don't want any kids. You know?
Okay, so what you gonna do? And what you gonna do to me?
Nothing. Well, why did I do anything to you?
Nothing?
Why did I do anything to you?
No, I know. So like, how are you gonna deal with this? By saying I don't want a baby? That's all?
I mean,
Pause it right there. Basically, the thing is this what's going on is y'all were getting on Cynthia G, and I've said this before, for the delete black male baby thing, and you fellas don't want you want to do exactly that. You want to do exactly that. You're making me do all that like this, And so guess what? I guess he worked her down, because this is what she's saying right now. I'm just going to play a short clip of this because it's fresh off the presses, and basically Duke he gets the credit for it. So here we go. Duke the Don. Okay, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Get to the show right about here. Okay.
One thing better. We're going to have Daisy actually explain it herself.
Okay, so Daisy's on Duke the Don. And if you already know who Daisy is, don't know who Daisy is.
I'm pregnant.
no, but that's what I'm saying. The pill, they just give it to you from a doctor and then you're good.
I am pregnant. I can't pretending like nothing happened. I can't.
You notice how he says it like he said it before many times. Hazel's in the house. Mistress Newbie's in the house. Why seeking knowledge in the house? You notice how he's saying it. Okay, let me play. Walter is saying it, not Duke. Duke's saying something else. Okay, but Walter, watch how Walter's.
I'm pregnant.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The pill, they just give it to you from a doctor and then you're good.
I am pregnant. I can't pretending like nothing happened. I can't. In my religion, we don't.
Let me pause it. Do you notice how he's saying it like it's a casual thing in the red pill culture? Number one, it's casual in red pill because he's a red pill king, and you guys know that, right? And second, like he doesn't give a fuck. You can tell. So anyway, that's what happened before. Everybody knows about that happening before. We have so much of a show for you today. We have the island, the bridge, and the park. I mean, we have creeps, we have jerks, we have losers, we have pretos. We got the whole show for you tonight. So without further ado, here we go.
All right.
Hi, guys.
Say hi to the camera.
Let me get a little bit more volume on that. Let me get a little bit more volume. Okay, here we go.
Do
Hi,
you need
guys.
water?
Yeah, please.
Baby, you get us some water?
Thank you.
Papi,
Thank
¿tú
you.
quieres agua también?
Okay,
Sí,
so
sí. Gracias, mamá.
thank you everyone for watching, and thank you Duke for
Yeah,
letting me be
of
here.
course.
And yeah, so as you guys know that I've been pregnant since March 1st. I've
Oh, what
show
happened?
you all the receipt. I mean, there's no way I can fake it, and it's also there's a document about doctor's announcement. So as you know, that's no way I can fake it. So I swear to my family that the pregnancy is true and the baby is precious. It's his baby, okay? Um, because all the stress that's been going on for the past month, it caused me a lot of emotional damage, and I've been starting feeling a lot of panic and like it's just like a lot of going on.
Oh, she's gonna sue. She's gonna sue.
Every time I'm in public, I'm just trying to get myself together and trying to be positive and to show you guys and show other women like a good example that we are strong. Even though we're going through some kind of situation in life, life is not always perfect. So no matter what, we have to be strong. I have to be out there for myself. Um, yeah, so I'm not
Wait,
gonna
let me check. Can y'all hear it okay? Is it okay? The volume? Let me know. Put a 1 if it's good. Uh, put a 2 if it needs a little more hit.
be able to keep the baby. I know there's a lot of boys been talking about she's been baby trapping.
Let me see if I can get a little more volume here. She's far away from the mic, so it's a little bit low. Let me see if I can max this. Here we go. Let me try that.
She's planning the whole story. You know, there's no reason if I want to baby trap him, why would I decide not to keep the baby? Because I actually planned the baby with him. Do you guys understand? I've been taking a lot of supplements
I didn't know that actually, but okay.
since January. Okay, since January, like the
This is
day.
what you get. What you get with the Dusty. I mean, look at. I mean, Tyrone Big. Tyrone Big. Okay, it's like this. Um, this has been happening all the time. Even look at what's going on with Jeezy. These men, for some reason, our culture, we're making it a common, not making, we've made it a common incident to make somebody pregnant and just leave. Married or not. Married or not. That's the funny part. So anyway, let me keep it going.
I went back to China. I told all my friends I'm not gonna, because I'm a social drinker. I don't like alcohol. I used to do bodybuilding. Alcohol is just not my hobby.
The only problem I have with her is she tries too hard to make her point. She just needs to just go ahead and say, "Hey, look, this is what's going on. I don't want to have." What she's trying to say is she doesn't want to have a baby by a Dusty. That's the bottom line. She knows dude is a Dusty now.
So I've been planning to keep myself healthy, taking supplements in order to get pregnant, in order to plan our baby with Walter, Walter Weeks. So I actually manifest this baby, and God gave me the baby. So can you imagine? I was very emotional when I had a video call with him, when I had a voice call with him. I was actually very emotional because God actually gave me the baby. God gave me what I want. Of course, I wasn't going to like kill it. I'm not going to kill my baby because I planned the baby with him. But just everything, like after everything's going on, like really, like I don't, I'm not going to be a single mother. I don't want my baby grow up without a father. Even until now, he's not showing up. I asked him to do a DNA test. I asked him to speak out. He refused. Instead, he's been acting like a fucking child on the show and playing a song like celebrating me being single mother. But you guys, you're not gonna get away with this because I'm not gonna be a single mother. I'm not letting my child grow up without a father. That's not fair. I grew up
I
in
hope she's in a state where she is, you know, something. She could fly back to China. That's true.
a single family, and my mom left us when I was 10. I know how it feels. It's horrible. Because when I was young, like,
Yeah, way to go, Manosphere. That's there you go. There you go. Yes, I'm shoving the knife in deeper. Yes. Yes. Yep. Yes. Yep. You have nothing. You stand on nothing. Y'all stand on nothing. You don't. This is what you all about. This is all what you all about right here. You know, nothing else but this.
I'm pregnant.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The pill, they just give it to you from a doctor and then you're good.
I am.
Then you're good. Then you're good. And he said it like he's said it probably so many times before. Tyrone Mix nails it. God also said you shouldn't be having sex, you know, if you're not married. Bars. That's actually a good point. That's actually a good point. Why psychoanalysis breaks it down like this. I need therapy, I guess. Have no sympathy for preferences. They think they are not going to get dragged and mistreated like us. That coffee burnt smell tearing up her nose. Up. Get the likes up. Here we go, everybody. Yeah, don't forget to get the likes up. Here we go.
My schoolmates, my like people from school, they've been laughing at me like, why don't you have a mom? You know, it's just very complicated, and I know how it will affect my baby. So yeah, I'm not gonna be able to keep the baby. Yeah, that's it.
That's it. That's it. But you know, here's your hero right here. If you think that I'm the only person who's basically not, you know, not believing in the red pill, listen to this dude.
Just my word for it. But I want you to.
Let me move it forward.
No, the question is how to make your child an asset to that man. That makes her an okay person. But how can you adopt? And this is a question all women are going to have to answer for themselves. How are my children benefiting you as my husband?
Okay, so you heard what he. Let me turn
it up.
Think about it from the man's side, understanding that my child today is a liability because it costs. So number one, is she well-mannered, well-behaved, smart, taken care of? Does she understand? And do I really believe that you're going to come second to my husband? Is my husband going to come first? Or is it we're a package deal? If you're a package deal, that's no deal. I'll be honest, it's a package deal, that's no deal, because let's say you and I were to get married, you got a daughter, right?
Oh shit, here it comes, folks. Here we go.
Let's say we have 2 kids together, and your child is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and said, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. Think about it from the man's side, understanding that my child today is a liability because it costs. So number one, is she well-mannered, well-behaved, smart, taken care of? Does she understand? And do I really believe that you're going to come second to my husband. Is my husband going to come first? Or is it we're a package deal? If you're a package deal, that's no deal. I'll be honest, it's a package deal, that's no deal, because let's say you
As a man who left his wife, gorgeous wife, by the way, who left his gorgeous wife a single mother. You see what I'm saying? You understand my point? Here we
and I
go.
were to get married, you got a daughter, right? Let's say we have 2 kids together, and your child is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and said, Kevin looked at me getting out of the shower. What happens next?
The relationship will have to end.
Huh?
That's not something the relationship would end immediately.
Because your daughter said I looked at her getting out of the shower.
Why would that person even be close to the bathroom to see her?
Bars. This is creepy, Kevin. I mean, they called you kitten heels, but creepy Kevin has a ring to it too. I'm sorry you passed away, and wish you actually didn't, because they martyred you. But basically, that's creepy.
That would be the thing. You have to defend
Exactly.
your seed. You have to defend your child.
Exactly. Exactly. So look at him. Watch who's going to do
You
that.
also remember you got 2 of my kids.
So what? Oh, so now you're using leverage. Welcome, Conscious Mind Love in the house. Now he wants to leverage his situation. So basically, that's what you call predatory marriage, where you marry somebody just so you can control them, and that's it. So you can play with their daughter.
So that means I should never listen to it. That means I should avoid women like you, because off the rip, your desire.
Yeah, if you're a creep, yeah, you should avoid a woman who wants to protect their daughters. Yeah, yes, you should. You should. And that brings us on to our next part. We will probably be popping back on this, but I wanted to start it off with a little bit of, pop. But let's go to another situation. Here we go. This is in Louisiana. A proposition to resolve the issue with assault. Let's put it that way. SA.
Man in Louisiana will have a permanent reminder of the punishment for raping a 14-year-old girl. Not only will Glenn Sullivan Sr. be heading to prison for the next 50 years, a judge has ordered that his balls be removed. My next guest demanded Sullivan be physically castrated.
Wow.
And joining us tonight on The Factor Uncensored, we have Livingston Parish Assistant District Attorney Brad Cascio.
This is deep, y'all. Did you hear that? Louisiana ain't playing. They are not playing.
Glad to have you here on The Factor, Mr. Cascio. Crazy situation there. A man is accused and has been convicted of raping a 14-year-old, and he was sentenced to 50 years in prison. And now part of that sentence is physical castration. Many of us have heard of chemical, but when you talk about physical...
How he agreed to reduce the time. Wow. Okay.
Exactly what does that mean?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Of course, we're talking physical this time, as you said, unlike the chemical. I've had probably 2 or 3, I think, over the course of my career, chemical castrations that are ordered. And what that entails in the state of Louisiana is a scheduled administration of shots throughout the remainder of the defendant's life, that he has to go in, he has to report, and he has to voluntarily intake. And if he ever were to take testosterone or steroids to counteract those injections, then that would be a new charge and he would go back to prison. For the case of physical castration, we're talking about a surgeon surgically removing the defendant's testicles from his body.
Got it. So now the person in question, the man convicted, is 54-year-old Glenn Sullivan Sr. How did we get here? Give us a little backstory to tell us why this was necessary.
So Glenn Sullivan has lived in Livingston Parish, to my understanding, his whole life. And I can tell you he is what we call a longtime offender or a career defendant. He has constantly been a part in the justice system as a defendant. And this particular crime that he's committed is just so egregious and so heinous. The raping of a 14-year-old girl, which led to her being pregnant. Now this girl is raising this child. I mean, she has to live with this the rest of her life, you know, with this child that I'm sure she's, you know, gonna love and she's gonna raise. And, you know, I really commend her. She was able to actually finish school, get her high school diploma, and she's really making something of herself. And I'm proud of her for that. And Mr. Sullivan, just being the lifelong defendant that he is, committing such a horrible act to this young girl, I think he deserves every bit of this.
And it's my understanding from court records that he also threatened to kill her and her family if she told someone that he had raped her.
That's correct. That's usually a part of this type of offense, right? These guys want to exert some type of control over their victims to,
I mean, this is deep.
protect themselves. So they will often use threats of violence or harm to either the victim or the victim's loved ones and close relatives to keep that secret and to protect themselves. It's my understanding from speaking with the victim and her family that Mr. Sullivan does have a history of physical abuse. And so not only was it a threat, but it was a real threat. It was something that he was likely to follow up with. And so that definitely instilled some fear in this victim. And like I said, I'm very proud of her because at some point she said, enough's enough. I'm tired of this. And she came forward. And for somebody
Wow, so he did it more than once. Man, regaming in the house.
Such a young age in such a dangerous position to have the courage to come forward and see this all the way through. I felt obligated to bring her as much justice and as much vindication as possible.
And how is she now? And is she still living in Livingston Parish?
Well, I don't want to give up too much about the victim, honestly, because I don't want to do anything.
But we do know she's an adult now.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, well, no. I mean, why is he asking all those questions? The better unknown she is, the better for her. She don't know. We don't know what's going to happen with dude.
He is safe, and she is, she's living her life.
Excellent. And when the sentence of 50 years in prison and then the castration, physical castration, is that something that you requested, something that he requested? What?
So under the Louisiana law that's currently on the books, on the conviction of certain offenses, the court can order chemical castration. But there's a subsection that says with the defendant's written consent in lieu of chemical castration, we can order physical castration. So, in speaking with the defense lawyers, they were going back and forth with me over what type of sentence we were looking at, and the idea of a 50-year sentence came up. And I considered it, and I've said the only way I'm agreeing to 50 years is if he agrees to, instead of chemical castration, we do physical castration in this case. And so the defendant actually, after speaking with his lawyer, being advised of all of his rights, signed a written motion and order for the physical castration and agreed to it.
Now, was that a tough decision on your part, or you said, this guy's a monster, let's move forward with physical castration so he won't harm anyone else when he gets out, if he gets out?
Yeah, the odds of him getting out are next to none, but you just never know. When laws change, DOC calculates time differently. He may one day get out. And when I thought about this in this particular case, given the act that was committed and the strength of the evidence,
wow,
I had no problem at all whatsoever requesting this sentence. I mean, we have a DNA test that proved.
Okay, so basically that's what's going down. You know, it's crazy though. Let's listen to another hero.
No, nigga, I'm telling you, nigga, I served time for killing a white man. It's orchestrated and documented, nigga. Then I'm telling you, I'm online about I raped white hoes. Why would?
But now, when you say you rape white hoes, you ain't saying it like you actually rape white hoes. You
yeah,
saying,
I did. Yeah, I am. I'm saying it like I gave scenarios where I done it. You must ain't seen the video.
I seen the video.
I gave scenarios where I done it.
Okay, now when you say stuff like that, bro, I be confused because I don't know if you speaking in character, right? Or if you
Homie, I've been saying this for years. How much more loud and clear do I have to say?
That you was raping white women.
We grew up doing it. This was a thing we did, nigga.
Are you saying like it was a thing that was going on in your hood, or is it shit
No,
that you
nigga, I'm telling you, I actively done,
Okay.
nigga. I'm telling you, I done done it.
Damn.
Okay.
I done bragging about it. How much more vicious can a nigga get with rape? Nigga, I done bragged about it.
Atlantic City.
I mean, this is where the beats keep coming, folks. Listen to this.
Mayor.
Even high value men,
Accused of abusing teen daughter. This is already one that's going to disgust me and probably you too. I'll give you the details. Multiple outlets reporting authorities allege that Marty Small Sr., the mayor of Atlantic City, New Jersey, and his wife, Atlantic City Public School Superintendent Quetta Small, are facing charges after being accused of emotionally and physically abusing their teen daughter on multiple occasions. One such episode allegedly leaving the teen unconscious after the mayor allegedly struck her head several times with a broom. Prosecutors also allege the mother punched the girl in her chest and hit her with a belt several times, leaving marks and bruises, among other accusations.
Is that crazy or what? A mayor.
He's built the case on video proof and conversations the 16-year-old had with counselors and peers. Investigators also combed through medical reports and reconducted interviews with the daughter, who spoke on the abuse and her family members. My goodness.
There's a mayor for you. There is a mayor for you. Let's dig right into it. Let's see what Washington is doing about their sex problem. Here we go. Some great items about this. This is about the mayor. But what? But they talk about the ghetto welfare folks. They cutting up just like them. Is it true that you can take a ninja out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the ninja? Bars. Tyrone Mix says, let's not forget Pastor Creflo Dollar, accused of beating his teen daughter many years ago. Bars. As a proclivity for deviance? Guess who?
This video contains one call between Nesto and Sonia on June
You
28,
guessed it.
2023. This
You
is one
guessed
day
it.
after Storm Monroe aired Nesto's hearing on Zoom that exposed him and the CP charges. You will hear Sonia tell Nesto about this news that she just discovered.
Oh man, this is, you know where it's coming from. The phone calls from prison. Here we go.
Take a listen.
Let me tell you one thing though, that picture wasn't the prison.
Okay, you woke? Did you better?
Yes, sir. I got some news.
Huh?
I got some news.
Okay, what's the news? Bad?
Uh-oh. Sonia has some news. Let's see what it is.
Good.
It's bad.
What's the matter?
It's all over Instagram. I mean, not
Oh,
Instagram.
shit.
Huh?
It's all over YouTube.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Wow.
The court hearing. We got the whole Zoom hearing on here. I'm reading off every.
He's never been in one of these cases accused him of attempting to pass somebody off as a lawyer.
This is YouTube.
Somebody did.
Yeah. I don't know. It's on TikTok.
Oh man.
It's on TikTok.
The porn that was found on the computer is up on Steve's computer, allegedly according to Mary, because Mary said it was all kinds of pictures of naked men, some black, some white girls,
Hold on.
that was found on the computer.
Hold on.
I mean, how much do you need to know when somebody is they are just like that? He's been like this.
That is. Hold on. I'm trying to go back to.
What is he doing? He's talking to somebody else.
No. He talk about you. They done went on your page. Let me tell you. This bitch on TikTok went on your page and said He ain't shit. Cause here he go in my DM talking about, I hear you in Atlanta and give me your phone number. Why he all in my DM? And I'm sitting here like, these bitches is just pushing everything. And she got a screenshot of the message from you to her.
Why I think knowledge says, Ernesto, oh boy. All right, in the house, Bridget Mouton. Let's keep this mix going. Here we go.
Who you talking about?
This shit, that's on TikTok. Hold on. And that shit old as hell. Why she just putting it on there? Because you ain't.
Wait a minute. Hold on. But that sound like my lawyer, though.
That was your lawyer. That's the courthead case, and this guy keeps going in and out. It's a whole hour-long situation that he's talking about. So now, okay, so let me tell you, I got 1, 2. My sister sent me this. 3 stories here. 2 on TikTok. Breaking news. Steve Harvey co-host Shirley Strawberry husband. TikTok. Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go.
All right, y'all. This shit right here. Hi, guys.
Just a bit.
Here we have it. Shirley Strawberry's husband in my DM on Instagram. He says, "Good afternoon. Send me your number. Are you here in Atlanta?" And I said, "I am not in Atlanta. And why do I need to send you my number?" I really feel like this is crazy. Married men are out of line. Like, they're just judging.
She's trying so hard to put herself out there because right now it's all over the place. That's your story right now. Because the thing the thing says,
at least Tanya is telling him the truth. I mean, it's not. She could have said, "Oh wow, I haven't heard anything going on," and never told him about this. At least she let him know that he got exposed.
she's showing a screenshot, but she's covering up the date. So she is trying to say it looks like you DM'd her yesterday, which no fucking way you could DM anybody in the last year.
Okay.
So
what else?
Hold on. Let me go to the other one.
All right, y'all. This shit right here.
I'm in a view of it.
We talking Shirley Strawberry and her husband. Okay, so apparently, y'all know they're on the Steve Harvey show. It's the husband right here. He just being trying to people trying to storm TV got that shit. Listen here, check it out. Let's go.
All right. I don't know why this story is even bigger. His name is hold up.
Oh, is it?
No.
There we go. His name is Ernesto Lewis.
He said his whole name.
They live in Atlanta. You're gonna hear them talk about the fact that Ernesto has lived in Atlanta, I think, for 19 or 20 some years or something like that. Anyway,
this ain't good.
There's a picture of him. Okay.
It's on the wedding picture.
There's a picture of him.
How many views he got on this?
That's Steve going down.
He said, "How many views does he got on that shit?" Bro, you do not want to know. You have been one of his best shows. I hate to break it to you. You've been one of his best shows. Oh, definitely a shout out to phone calls from prison. Let's keep this going. Here we go.
But little did she know, I feel like but little did she know that she was walking her way down to a nigga that was going to embarrass her. Oh, they keep telling y'all to get married, and they always embarrass you.
On TikTok.
Kind of look like a perv, though. No.
132 views she got. All right, hold on. But the YouTube dude, the one that's showing this, it's only been up 21 hours, and he's got 58,000 views.
58,000 views on Ernesto in court talking about his CP charges. Talking about his CP charges. And guess what? Guess what, y'all? They found something. Just like they found something with Diddy, they found something with Ernesto. They found something. They found more than somebody would want them to find. See, the thing is that sooner or later, and this is why a lot of deviants don't like the law is because it catches up with you. It catches up with you. You think you got it fooled and everything. You think you got it made. Boom. They pull a rope-a-dope on you. They pull a rope-a-dope.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's gonna be devastated. Your son was like, I'm not even gonna bring this up because I sent it to Dion and he was like, what the fuck? And I was like, yep, you see how this man and
Talk about Shirley dodging a bullet. Now, I mean, she didn't quite dodge it enough. I mean, she got hit. Let's just face it. But she got out just in time. Now, you want to know something? She probably, quite honestly, this is probably why she is gone. I mean, she probably found out this was for real a long time ago.
sat here and put these lies and shit, got this man out here looking crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. And they keep putting emphasis on girlfriend. She in Buckhead. Oh, she in Buckhead. But wait, he got a whole girlfriend. He got a whole, like, I can't believe the fucking prosecutor said that shit. And then they keep putting some strong emphasis on that shit.
So what Sonya's next move is going to be is to try to make Ernesto feel better about his bad situation, which has gotten worse.
That's from Monday. That happened Monday.
It's from Monday's court.
Wow.
Hold on.
By the way, how you doing, Mary? Did you ever get out the hospital? Since you was still weak. It just gives Atlanta doing everything but the right thing. It's true. So back to the 80s. These guys.
I can hear Ernesto. He's breathing hard. He's got some issues. He's worried. He's breathing hard because he knows what he knows. Here we go.
A couple. He's got one in 2008, which looks like it's meaning when they're doing.
I think he should have wrote his thing down because he sounds real. The way he gave his performance.
You been walking down the aisle. What's the center there, Tanya?
Trisha. He just kept texting me and texting. I just kept ignoring the phone. And I was just like, and then it just kept dinging and dinging. I'm like, what the fuck they keep texting me for? And then I looked at it and I was like, oh shit.
His history, Birmingham, and go talk to the rich
Somebody was on that and heard that.
See, the problem is that they talk too much. The courts tell you, look, we're listening to everything. Just so you know, feel free to talk. But we're listening to everything. That's how phone calls from prison became phone calls from prison. I don't know what it is. They just can't help it. Let's keep it going. Here we go.
They put somebody off the thing once. The black kid that kept talking smack, they made her get off the zone.
Just go ahead and get your glasses and get your
They
letters.
keep trying to say, oh yeah, Abu Dhabi, yeah, that's Steve Harvey's son live out there. Yeah, he gonna either run to Miami or where Steve's son lives.
Was I lying to you?
I was sitting here like, okay, first of all,
You're lying to too many people. That's the problem. That's why you got all those scam charges too. Let's move on to our next part of the show. Here we go. We're gonna do a part 2 of it. Wait, no, let me play a little bit more of this.
Steve's okay, you don't talk to Steve right there. But you know, of course, the prosecutor know what the actual truth is because he's listening to the phone conversation. He's gonna take it to court and twist it.
Okay, but it doesn't say what I'm locked up for in the video.
It don't say sex. I mean, it says sex.
Why is seeking knowledge now? Ernesto is in denial. He's deep off into the F around and find out season. But I'm glad he's still hopeful, I guess. Not.
And then it says nudity, but it don't say children. So however they got children out of that, because she didn't say it, the judge never said, children thing, but your lawyer said sexual. He said sexual crime. Sexual something. But it don't say kids, but it got pedophiles. All of it.
What?
Children.
You coming home every day wonder why all the strawberries gone and all the whipped cream is gone. Shirley, I need you in your picture.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So here we go. The island, the park, and the bridge. We just
There
went
may
to
be
the
no
island.
uglier
We
word.
just went to the island. Then we went and dipped into some Ernesto Shirley Strawberry stuff. Let you know how his. I mean, the thing is this is the point I'm trying to make is this: Ernesto is a creep. Why Sonya is around him is her problem. Whatever that problem is, she needs to go solve it. She really does. So when those red pill dudes be saying you should have chose better, they should be talking to Sonya. But I guarantee you one thing, I bet they haven't been talking to Sonya. I bet they haven't. I bet they didn't go over to Sonya and say, you should have chose better. Because you want to know why? Because those dudes think just like Ernesto. They would want to be Ernesto themselves. Let's break it down. Here we go. 60 Minutes from Australia. What do they do in Australia to get rid of deviants? We are about to find out. Here we go.
Word in the English language than pedophile. It conjures up thoughts we never want to have of monsters preying on innocent children. As reviled as they are, though, pedophiles lurk in greater numbers than most of us know, and ignoring they exist won't cut it anymore. In America, I've just visited one of the most confronting places I've ever been, a trailer park that's entirely inhabited by pedophiles and other sex offenders who've served their prison sentences and have nowhere else to live. This village of the damned is set up for our protection and theirs, but it's a new, controversial theory, and the results might surprise you.
I know that's not the village of the damned. That's a damn good looking beach to me.
Petersburg, on Florida's west coast, is a postcard-perfect playground, except for one thing. Not far from these beaches, hiding in plain sight, is a trailer park full of registered sex offenders. The 120 residents here are convicted rapists, child sex abusers, and addicts of child pornography. So, every one of the people here are the neighbors that no one else really wants to have.
Absolutely. So not in my backyard, people.
The village of the damned.
I refer to us as the societal lepers of the 21st century.
Showing me around this godforsaken underworld is Bill Fury, a convicted child molester. He's lived here for a decade and is surprisingly open about what makes someone like him commit the most deplorable acts against children.
I did what I did. I know why I did it. I know how I did it. I know how I went about it. It was a setup, a predatorial action. I was a predator. I did that.
But as sickening as this place is, it could hold the key to answering one of the biggest questions of our time. How do we stop pedophiles from offending in the first place?
Right.
Well, come out here with me, teddy bear.
I'll tell you one thing. You don't support these kind of guys.
Sexual something. But it don't say kids, but it got pedophiles. All of it.
What?
Children.
You coming home every day wonder why all the strawberries gone and all the whipped cream is gone. Shirley, I need you in your picture. Damn.
Yeah, I wonder, you know something, I really wonder. I wonder if after Ernesto goes out there, send him to Pervert Park, This, that would be.
But as sickening as this place is, it could hold the key to answering one of the biggest questions of our time. How do we stop pedophiles from offending in the first place?
Well, number one, don't support them. Shit. I mean, look at Diddy. He's been at it for a long time. And that's because somebody had to accept it and somebody had to support it.
Well, come out here with me, teddy bear.
Pervert Park houses one of the largest concentrations of sex offenders in the United States.
I'm not innocent of having the images.
You did view it.
And I did view it, yeah.
It was set up 10 years ago as a solution to Florida's strict probation laws, which forbid convicted pedophiles from living within 300 meters of kids. Over the years, it's become a safe haven for society's most hated human beings. There's not really any way to sugarcoat this place. It's frankly not a great spot to live. The conditions here are very cramped. Everyone has a dark, sinister history, and the atmosphere is, well, it's unpleasant. That said, Florida police say it works. Now, you'd think having such a concentration of sex offenders in one place would be a recipe for disaster. But law officers claim for them it centralises the potential problems. It also helps them to track down offenders after they leave prison. And for the residents here, it creates a kind of self-regulation.
Sex offenders know sex offenders better than anybody because we are each other.
So you'll call each other out?
Absolutely.
What's that like, being labelled a sex predator?
I don't know, it's kind of surreal. You know, it's just.
You never thought of yourself as one of those?
I don't know. No, I don't think so. I mean, but if you think about it, what does a predator do? It cuts the weak and the young out of the pack and it preys. Okay, that's what I did.
So it fits?
I think it does. I absolutely think it does.
You'd be hard-pressed finding a more candid or repentant child molester than Bill Fury.
What I did was wrong.
So you've owned that?
Oh, absolutely. I inflicted harm on other human beings that I have no right to inflict.
Can you describe to me, what did you do?
He's a creep. He's a pedo. He's a predo and all of that. But I do respect the fact that he does own up to it. I wish Ernesto would do the same thing.
I have this girlfriend with a 12-year-old daughter, and I was at her house one night while she was working. Bottom line is I offended sexually against somebody defenseless, somebody young, somebody that didn't deserve it.
And she was 12 or 13?
12 or 13. Obviously too young to be exposed to what I exposed her to.
Bill spent almost 20 years behind bars and underwent intense therapy. But he tells me he doesn't think he's been cured. The 56-year-old says the forbidden desires he acted on all those years ago are still present.
I don't think it'll ever go away. You know, you just learn how to manage it, how to control it, how to not feed it.
So that feeling is still there with you?
The desire? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Research varies, but even on the lowest estimates, there are millions of pedophiles worldwide. They walk among us every day. James, how many pedophiles do you think you've seen over the years?
Wow. I'd be surprised if I haven't broken 1,000.
Dr. James Cantor is a neuroscientist specializing in atypical sexualities.
Wow.
When it comes to pedophilia, he's reached important but uncomfortable conclusions, including why pedophiles are attracted to children in the first place.
Definitely want to hear this.
All the evidence suggests that pedophilia begins in the womb. A person does not pick it. And despite every kind of treatment that has been attempted over a century, nothing has been shown to be able to change these people from pedophiles into non-pedophiles.
Wow.
By exploring the brains of convicted pedophiles using MRI scans, Dr. Cantor discovered a dramatic cross-wiring in the connective tissue. His controversial research found that pedophiles are victims of nature.
It's not that
I think knowledge says liars.
these areas of the brain are different in the pedophiles. It's that the network that they're supposed to form isn't connected properly. So it's accidentally identifying things in the environment that should evoke a parental nurturant instinct, but instead it's provoking a sexual and erotic instinct.
From all the science,
Yep.
from all your science, did it answer the question, are pedophiles born or made?
Interestingly, the science in general says that pedophiles appear to be born, not made.
Because that's a big call, isn't it?
It is a big call.
Because some people will see that as almost making an excuse for pedophilia.
Oh, many people will make many different interpretations, but the place to start any kind of policy.
In the chat, put a 1 if you think pedophiles are born, or a 2 if you think they just become that way.
Is this is biological and it's not going to change.
Dr. Cantor argues that means rather than condemn people born with something they can't control, we need to start helping them before they offend. And incredibly, he says many pedophiles actually don't want to act on their urges.
Pedophilia is not a synonym for child molestation, which is how most people think. Pedophilia is the genuine, underlying, unchanging sexual interest in children.
But isn't that the same thing?
No, child molestation is the actual behavior that harms a child.
But you're splitting straws there a little bit, aren't you?
No, not at all.
You're saying that the definition of pedophilia is the attraction, but it doesn't mean they're going to do it.
Exactly. A pedophile, there exists a group, for example, called the virtuous pedophiles. These people recognize that they're sexually interested in children, have never touched one, and they essentially swear themselves to a life of celibacy.
How is it possible for them to suppress that sexual urge for their entire lifetime?
Welcome, Dante. Dante in the house. Why Seeking Knowledge in the house. Bridget in the house. Tyrone Mix in the house. Let's keep it going.
I can't imagine that kind of a curse. And we as a society, the only thing we can do, the thing that would most protect our children, is to help them do that.
Coming up.
I've got a sexual attraction to children.
But this man says he's not a danger.
We do know the difference between right and wrong.
So can he be trusted? Have you ever been tempted?
I've been tempted, yes.
That's next on 60 Minutes.
Wow, that's deep. That is deep.
It was Saturday afternoon, November 10th. And
Stories of child sexual abuse dominate nightly news bulletins.
2 brothers aged 8 and 11 inside one of the public toilets.
Pedophiles, it seems, are all around us.
So, what are your thoughts on why do people like Sonia still believe in men like Ernesto? I mean, because it's obviously it's not an this is not a one-off, you know.
But it don't say.
What makes her after Sonia hears all this shit about Ernesto over and over again? What makes her just dive right back into, I don't know, whatever degeneracy pool Nesto is in?
Here, but they got pedophiles. All of them.
What?
Children.
You come home every day, wonder why all the strawberries gone and all the whipped cream is gone. Shirley, I need you in your pixie down to the office ASAP.
I think his ass in the shit.
Anyway, being involved, you're accused, you're convicted of anything that involves a person passing and signs off as a lawyer or impersonating anybody ever in life. This last case that came about involved, if my understanding is correct, and I don't know because I haven't received discovery on it since it hasn't been indicted, a single photograph that was found on a computer that the prosecution, well, not even the prosecution at this point, I guess it's still the police, because it's not indicted or accused, claimed was my client and that he was in possession of either the computer or the photograph that's on there. My client has never been accused of anything involving nudity or anything else with children.
Yeah, he said with children.
He's been convicted of things like armed robbery in his past.
When he said that, he should have put a date on that because that shit was over 30 years.
He was saying for 5 years,
When you don't put a date on it, it makes it seem like it's
he came to pick up a check that they said was cleared, and he was arrested on the scene. That's the federal
he should have had that on report form and showed it.
So that's
Instead of just looking at his notes and going off his head. He should have just wrote a report.
So I don't know why she does it. I don't know why I mean, this guy, it's not like he has 1 or 2 charges. This guy has a long list, a laundry list. I just don't get it, folks. I don't.
It was Saturday afternoon, November 10th, and
Stories of child sexual abuse dominate nightly news bulletins.
2 brothers aged 8 and 11 inside one of the public toilets.
Pedophiles, it seems, are all around us.
Alleged ringleaders of a child stealing syndicate. 90% of sex offenders live undetected in the community.
But research has now discovered not all of them are molesting children. And remarkably, there is such a thing as a good pedophile.
What? Oh my God.
This whole notion of a non-offending pedophile seems, frankly, a bit hard to believe. But we're about to meet a man here in Melbourne who calls himself exactly that, a virtuous pedophile. Now, for obvious reasons relating to his personal safety, he doesn't want to disclose his identity. So we've agreed to meet him at a neutral location in a city hotel so he can tell us all about his tortured existence.
Damn.
Kira, as he's known online, works in tech and spends his free time watching soccer and cricket. He sounds like any other ordinary bloke, but that all changes the moment he sits down.
I've got a sexual attraction to children.
Are you uncomfortable being labelled a pedophile?
It's a difficult word, but
that's true.
It's technically true.
What age for a sexual...
Good question, Bridget. Bridget asks, is she legitimately concerned for Ernesto, or she enjoys delivering bad news to him? I think she is generally concerned with him. I think she really believes that in Ernesto to the point where she doesn't care what he does. She doesn't care the damage he's caused and the damage he would do if he got out. And the problem is that there's a lot of Sonias out there. So it's scary.
Partner would you find attractive?
In a purely physical sense, I would say 7, 8 years old.
Kira says he first became aware of his disturbing attraction to little boys when he was a teenager.
When I was around about 15, I was going through school. I was looking at boys. I was finding them sexually attractive, but as I was growing older, I wasn't attracted to boys my own age. You know, post-puberty, I was more attracted to the younger ones.
When that realization dawned upon you, and then you bring the word pedophile in, that must have been very confusing.
It was. You associate with monsters, you know, and it's very, very, very hard then to realize that, hang on a minute, I'm not a monster. I've got a morality. I could never bring myself to do something like that. But then you think you've got this dark secret inside you as well, and you think.
But Kira isn't alone. Online, there's a hidden
Yeah.
population of people just like him. Thousands of self-confessed pedophiles who meet and chat, often anonymously in forums.
You know, I went through that period of, of self-hatred and, trying to change myself.
Yeah, I hear you, mate. I hear you.
Todd Nickerson is one of these so-called virtuous pedophiles. Based in a small town in Tennessee, he outed himself publicly in 2015 to shed light on this secret underworld.
I feel like, a great burden has been lifted off of me because, now people take me at face value. They know what I'm about. And, for better or worse.
The term virtuous pedophiles sounds like an oxymoron. But men like Todd and Kira claim, even though they're attracted to children, they've never acted on their sexual urges. Are you all committed along those lines?
I would say most of them are fair dinkum about it. I don't trust that all of them are doing exactly what they say they are all the time.
I am a little bit cynical when it comes to that. I find it hard to marry up those two terms.
Yeah, that is crazy. Let's see if this meshes right here.
When you don't put a date on it, it makes it seem like it's
Came to pick up a check that they said was cleared, and he was arrested on the scene. That's the federal.
You should have had that on report form instead of just looking at his notes and going off of his head. You should have just wrote a report and just read it like that.
Okay, so we've been to prison. We've been to the island. We just left the park. And now we're going to visit the bridge. Let's visit the bridge right now.
Okay, so the condos may not be worth $1 million anymore, but the view sure is. Zip across the causeway that connects the mainland to Miami Beach, and it's as if you're leaving your troubles behind, unless you happen to be cruising along the Julia Tuttle Causeway and you slow down enough to look at the side of the road. What are those tents doing along the water's edge? Hello? Hello? There is a distinctly permanent feeling to this scruffy encampment, and it's clear many of its residents don't want anything to do with inquisitive reporters.
What'd you do that you ended up here? Same thing everybody else did. Okay, thanks.
What they did has made them pariahs. They are sex offenders, a makeshift colony of 71 outcasts living here under the bridge because the laws say if they go almost anywhere else, they will be sent right back to jail.
So you got this $1 million view.
It's not $1 million view to me.
What is it?
It's a shame on Miami to me.
One of the few men here willing to talk is Homer Barkley, a seemingly harmless guy, until you learn he was sent to prison for 10 years for attempted sexual assault on a 10-year-old girl. He first came here in January 2008. That's when he was released on probation.
When I got to the probation officer also confirmed me that I had to come and live up under the Julia Tuttle Causeway. They also told me that I had to go to the driver's license place and put it on my driver's license.
Is it on your driver's license?
Yes, sir.
Do you have it? Can you show me? And what does it say there?
Julia Tuttle Causeway.
Julia Tuttle Causeway. That's your home address.
My home address is in Liberty City.
Can you not live in Liberty City?
I can't live in Liberty City based on the ordinance.
The ordinance. You quickly learn that it's all about the ordinance and about a web of overlapping laws. In 2005, Miami-Dade County implemented residency restrictions that barred registered sex offenders from living within 2,500 feet of schools.
Wow. Okay. Good.
On top of that, state law creates a 1,000-foot buffer around schools, parks, and playgrounds, and for offenders on parole, school bus stops. Finally, there are 24 cities within the county that have their own residency restrictions for sex offenders. So this is Miami-Dade County, and this is what it looks like when you add overlapping circles of no-go zones. About all that's left are some million-dollar neighborhoods, some industrial parks, and the Julia Tuttle Causeway.
This is my life right here. This is my life. As you see, it's so hot. I have to lay here. So hot in the tent.
What's it like with the noise?
It's like bumblebees in your head.
Well, that's what happens when you try to attack little girls and boys.
What your television can't convey is the stench, a suffocating cocktail of sewage, urine, and trash. There is no sanitation here, no running water. Like most of the men here, Homer has to wear a tracking device.
They tell me that I have to be here from 6 o'clock p.m. to 7 o'clock a.m. in the morning.
Do you feel like you're being punished a second time?
Of course I do. If I don't went to prison and did all that time, why I'm still here? Why I'm still being punished? All I want is my life back. I deserve a second chance at life.
Meet Ron Book, a man who's not sure about second chances. The multimillionaire Florida lobbyist is the architect of Florida's harsh sexual predator laws. For Book, it is a personal crusade. 8 years ago, he learned that the nanny he and his wife had hired to care for their children was physically and sexually abusing their daughter. The
Wow, that's messed up.
nanny went to jail, and Book went to work pushing Florida's politicians to make pariahs of all sexual offenders. He succeeded. There is a perception that the 2,500-foot law is so onerous in this community that it leaves nowhere realistic for these men to live. Is that a fair perception?
I think it's fair to have that discussion and that debate. Yes, it's difficult. Nobody said that someone exiting the prison system after committing a sexually deviant act on a child has a right to dictate where they live.
It's my sense
That's a good point. That's a damn good point.
that the fundamental problem here is that nobody wants to defend sex offenders. And I think most people watching this will say, so be it. What they did was horrible.
I have a daughter that was 12 years old when she was first molested and raped. I have a different perspective than many people. I sleep very comfortably at night knowing that we have made our community safer.
County Commissioner Pepe Diaz sleeps well at night, too, knowing that he helped his county pass some of the toughest sexual offender laws in the country.
And no time am I going to apologize for the law that I helped create along with my colleagues. That law has saved, to me, in my opinion, the innocence of a lot of children.
Diaz will tell you he is not proud of the camp on the Causeway.
That is not a way to live for anybody. And also, in the midst of one of our bridges that goes to one of our main tourist areas in Miami Beach.
But he has no interest in changing the law. Do you really think that there are sufficient places where these men can live legally in the county?
I mean, at the very least, what they could do is just have some type of way to manage some porta potties or something, At least do that. I mean, that much. I mean, that's not like it wouldn't be like they're living high on the hog or nothing, but at least it would keep the stench down. That's going to eventually start to smell up their higher end areas.
Absolutely.
That is not what the American Civil Liberties Union found. They have just released a study of available affordable housing for sex offenders in Miami-Dade County. In the entire county, just 15 units were available to sex offenders at a rent of less than $1,000 a month. And at rents under $750 a month, not a single unit qualified. So who was in charge of helping the sex offenders find a proper home? Meet Ron Book, the multimillionaire lobbyist who is head of Miami-Dade's Homeless Trust. No, don't adjust your TV sets. Yes, this is the same Ron Book who pushed for the laws that push predators under the bridge. And he's also the man in charge of finding them a proper home.
Do you know how many sites we've chased over the last weeks? And I'm still sort of optimistic that if we keep chasing sites, we're going to find 3 or 4.
Ron Book knows some people think his two roles are irreconcilable.
I wear these two.
Yeah, it is weird that he's the one putting them out there and then he's the one supposed to find them a spot to go. What Ron Book couldn't do right now is basically just at least throw a bunch of porta potties down there. I mean, come on, at least that much. I mean, look, to me, they belong under a bridge, quite honestly. But at least, you know, a low end commodities like a porta potty, maybe one of those portable showers, portable potties and all that kind of shit. That shouldn't be a problem.
Hats. In this particular case, they have run into one another.
I mean, what he's in, what is that? She's in that's not an A8. That's something 8, the Audi he's in.
I don't want to use the word colliding, but they've run into one another.
The American Civil Liberties Union has filed a motion in circuit court asking that the local ordinances be invalidated and just the state 1,000-foot law be allowed to stand. Ron Book disagrees.
Look, I've not been bashful about my feelings about people who commit offenses against children. I have referred to them as monsters. Everybody under the bridge knows that.
I am not a monster. I'm a human being. I got family like you got family. I got family like they got family. I don't deserve this, man.
Well, tell that to the little person you attacked. Ask them.
If you felt like these guys did something so gross, then you should have sentenced them to life. You don't put them out and just cast them out and put them on a little land.
No, I'm sure you can find a way to go back. I think if I don't even think he has to do a whole lot. Just walk past wherever that ankle bracelet lights up. Then he'll get everything he wants. He'll get all the accommodations he wants.
Surrounded by the ocean. This is not right.
For Nightline, I'm Jeffrey Kaufman on the Julia Tuttle Causeway in Miami.
That was deep. That was real deep. That was deep, and maybe this man belongs there.
You don't put a date on it. It makes it seem like it's time.
Came to pick up a check that they said was cleared, and he was arrested on the scene.
That's right. Ernesto, maybe he belongs there. Maybe he belongs under the bridge. Well, no, that's after he gets out, by the way, or if he gets out. The problem that a lot of men are having here in the United States is they don't want to, you know something? I'm gonna let
some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Yeah, some mofos are always trying to ice skate a bill. So you want to do the crime, but you don't want to do the time. So don't do the crime so you don't have to do the time. You know, or
what's going on? Y'all are going to jail. Period.
So I think you see where I'm going with this. You see where I'm going with this. You don't want to get those feelings in your heart.
Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelming and
you're getting my point here. I mean, are you guys getting my point? Maybe Kevin.
We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men. I understand the impulse, brothers. I do.
But let's go on with it.
He should have had that on report form and read it. Instead of just looking at his notes and going off the top of his head. He should have just wrote a report and just read it like that. And if the guy said something, he should have interjected, made notes to everything.
It just sounds like mumbling to you. What she's trying to do is interpret what Storm Monroe did on his live stream, talking about Ernesto being, on CP trial charges. If you don't know what CP is, it's child PORN. Okay. And see, the thing is this, the problem that Ernesto has, welcome New Diamond, is that he doesn't add things very well. He didn't scam one or two people. We're talking about this man scammed nearly 10, 20 people. He didn't SA just one woman. There's at least 4. Then he's got the CP charges. Then he's got some stuff for burglary, armed robbery, and it's like he's saying I shouldn't be in here. I shouldn't be. That's what he's saying. I shouldn't be in here. He's done all of that stuff, but he's saying he shouldn't be in there.
And I was saying, and then came back and said on most points, but he should have just read it. Like, his criminal history is in 2001. This is what happened in 1998. This is what happened. He took a plea.
Okay, so basically what it's saying is what everybody's saying is what?
One thing you heard.
Wow.
But they're looking at Shirley like they're trying to put it all. It's hitting her job right about now. It's hitting her job. Wow, it would have been better for her to have separated herself before this came.
I think what Sonya's trying to do is make lemonade out of sour lemons.
If she don't think she was on this, she probably going to. She's trying to save herself.
All right, so text her, Katie, and
Text her what?
Text her and show her what happened.
I'll forward this to
That
her.
grounds me because guess what? That put my life in jeopardy now.
Oh yeah, because now something.
Now you understand that?
Oh, see, now he's thinking he's going to be able to angle himself out of all those charges by saying that his life is in danger. So he's thinking he can get in, some better situation, maybe even get let out or something because, he's in danger there. Maybe go to a better prison. He's thinking that, but the bottom line is like it or not, I mean, Storm Monroe is more of he pretty much is a news reporting kind of guy. So good luck.
The attorney for Ernesto is saying don't give him a bond no more than $5,000. He has people that work for him. He got 5 different businesses. He looks like a Butch Queen. He has been in Atlanta for years.
Katie, I'm gonna call you right back, okay?
Uh-oh.
Man, that shit got me fucked up.
But when they said,
That's probably the most honest thing he's ever said.
his wife, you heard the lady say which one. That's because Ernesto.
If you didn't hear what he said, this thing got me all effed up. Oh, man.
Oh man, that shit crazy.
There's another woman, so not only were there allegedly pictures of minors on his computer, not only was the cop running off to his daughter's house in Abu Dhabi, and his city's house,
This is all the
he got his girlfriend. Hide the kids, hide your wife, hide your dog, baby, and fucking everybody.
Oh man, that shit got me.
Shirley Strawberry. He did not want to call her name. Call her name. Shirley.
Damn.
Hold up. Shirley.
Who is this guy?
That same clown that been talking about Steve Harvey.
Oh, boy. Man.
He got how many views?
58,000 on one day.
68,000 in one day, Ernesto. 68,000. I gave you some options. You can live, on the island. You can live in the park, or you can live under the bridge after you get out. That's about your only options,
She said
folks.
she need to go on down to Alabama and get on Richard's show and separate herself from.
Yes, we are advocating for some porta potties and a porta shower when you get out. Don't worry.
Oh, you must be. So, 2 people on TikTok redid his story. So it's on TikTok And Trisha said it just came up on her feed.
Dang.
She didn't know. You know,
All right, so what you do is he got to stick with me now, because ain't nobody going to take that shit no more.
212-559. I believe that the other ADA Taylor has something to say about 23 CP 215407 and the state's recommendation for bond in that particular matter, Judge.
Okay.
The law for the stream, but that's where we at. Cheryl Strawberry, co-host of the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
That's all he keeps talking about.
I moved it over to the end. I moved it down. The thing I skipped through it.
Well, folks, man. So this is the situation. It's like we do these Sunday crime story shows because it's important that you get informed on basically the situation we have in our community. Because you can say you can pretend it doesn't happen around the corner, but it's happening around the corner. That's why the community is the way it is. And the problem is that we harbored too many Ernestos, too many Diddies, too many R. Kellys in our community for one reason or the other, whether they had swag, whether they had talent, whatever it was, we let them run rampant. So, you know, this is something we really need to work on and solve. But until then, at least be informed and know what you're dealing with. Just because you like somebody or just because you know you're impressed with somebody doesn't mean they're good people. You know, that's the key. That is the key. So, I mean, we really we need to do something. So, you know, if you want our community to grow, if you want our culture to grow, if you want, you know, everything that we want to go good, we can't be supporting dudes like this. We can't. Because they're the ones tearing down the community. He has torn down, this man has torn the lives down of so many people. It's not even funny. Hey, can you support him? I mean, you can't just throw him out, you know, with the bathwater like Anton says, but kind of you can. And I mean, the thing is that at least don't advocate for their freedom, because they're going to take their freedom and damage more people with it. That's just what they do. So that's why Sonya gets the Queen Mammy Award to me, because at least the other mammies, they don't promote directly for monsters to get out of prison. Sonya does that. Now, I'm not saying like all the other, you know, women we would designate as mammies or super pick-me's, that they don't have their own issues, because I think they support these type of some men too, but they don't support them as much. Let's just put it that way. And that's pretty much the whole scoop. So at the end of the day, everybody, this is DJ Torch. I thank everybody for coming through, and I'm out of here. Here we go. Big shout out. Wife Took a Knowledge, New Diamond, Bridget.
In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right.
Dante Adam.
It's not hard to fool me.
This is Doobie.
'Cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yeah.
He's so buzz.
Either way,
thanks everyone for coming through.
I follow.
See you on the next one.
Say